What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to the first August episode of The Drop. And this week features some pretty awesome games, including The Long Dark coming to the PlayStation 4, as well as Patapon Remastered, and a couple of other games coming out across all of the various consoles and PC. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So to kick things off, we have Tacoma coming to the Xbox One and the PC. Tacoma is a sci-fi narrative adventure set aboard a high-tech space station in the year 2088. Explore every detail of how the station's crew lived and worked, finding clues that add up to the gripping story of trust, fear, and resolve in the face of disaster from the creators of Gone Home. So for this one, I remember when it was shown off at E3 2016, and I was very impressed because it did combine a lot of the elements of gameplay that we saw within Gone Home, which for those that aren't familiar, is an explorative kind of story-based game where you walk around this giant house and find pieces of the puzzle that are missing and figure out what happened to pretty much this one teenage girl and the rest of her family. But that's beside the point. You get that kind of thing within Tacoma, but on top of that you have a setting similar to that of Prey or Bioshock, so it creates a much more eerie experience. As far as the actual gameplay goes, they're pretty much just holographic images of people scattered around the ship that you wander around and try and find while you piece together what happened to these people and where they went. It's quite an interesting story, and like I said, has a lot of that Gone Home kind of eerie feel, especially in this new setting. So if you were a fan of Gone Home, if you're looking for a new explorative adventure style game, then you might want to check out Tacoma, which again is coming out on the Xbox One and the PC this week. Next up, we have Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One after a pretty lengthy stay on PC. In the year 1615 in Japan, a new shogun rises power over Japan and enforces nationwide peace. In his battle against conspiracy and rebellion, he recruits 5 specialists in assassination, sabotage, and espionage. The team must fight against the mysterious Kage-sama, who plans to overthrow the shogun. They infiltrate castles, gather information through espionage, fight rebellions, and ruthlessly eliminate Kage-sama's allies. The group is comprised of very different personalities. Working together as a team seems impossible at first. Yet over the course of many missions, trust is won and friendships are made. The characters develop their own dynamic, and each member will face some kind of personal drama. During the time I was watching the gameplay, I did notice that the main variety in gameplay comes from the various kinds of characters themselves, because you can do everything from kill like a ninja to somebody that pushes a giant rock off of a cliff and ends up killing multiple enemies down below. So it definitely doesn't get boring because you can switch it up and try out different characters depending on what kind of character fits your playstyle the best. So overall, this is not one that has really blown my mind, but Blades of the Shogun has done very, very well on PC and has a very dedicated fan base, so I would expect the same kind of thing to be shown whenever the game comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One later on this week. Next up, we have The Long Dark coming to the PlayStation 4 after a pretty lengthy stay on the Xbox One and the PC in early access. How far will you go to survive the quiet apocalypse? The Long Dark is a thoughtful exploration survival experience that challenges solo players to think for themselves as they explore an expansive frozen wilderness in the aftermath of a geomagnetic disaster. There are no zombies, only you, the cold, and all the threats Mother Nature can muster. It seems like more often than not a survival game within the gaming world these days is something that has to do with monsters or mutants, or you know, you would expect something like a Call of Duty Nazi Zombies or a Fallout. It's kind of one of the two, but within The Long Dark, it is literally like you are just trapped in the wilderness with nothing but a gun and your wits to kind of survive and beat all of the elements that Mother Nature throws at you, whether it be bears, whether it be cold, whether it be hunger. You have all these elements that are trying to kill you within the game, and it's very, very interesting kind of experience. I actually have it on PC and have enjoyed it a good bit. And of course, I'm not the only one that has enjoyed it. If you go on the Steam page, the reviews are pretty stellar for this game, so it might be one worth checking out, especially since it has been in early access for so long and has had such ample time to be worked on. I am sure that this is going to be a fantastic addition to the PlayStation 4 library. And last but not least, we have Patapon Remastered coming to the PlayStation 4. Patapon is an innovative rhythm-based 2D platformer/action game marching to PlayStation 4 with revitalized graphics output in 4K resolution and 1080p. An iconic PlayStation game, players are tasked with leading the colorful Patapons, a brave and noble tribe, through a series of epic battles against opposing armies and gigantic monsters. In a distinct gameplay twist, action and rhythm are intertwined as players utilize drum beats to march, attack, and defend, ultimately leading to Patapon tribe victory. Back in the day, Patapon was very popular on the PlayStation Portable system. That was a lot of P's in that sentence, but it was popular because of how simple the gameplay was. Pretty much you would just have to enter in a specific sequence of button mashes to a specific rhythm, so that was simple enough to where you could kind of just veg out on the couch or whatever and play it, but it was also interesting enough to keep players interested during their gameplay time and keep them coming back for more. Over the past couple of years, there has been a call for a Patapon Remastered, as spearheaded by Kinda Funny's Greg Miller, but has been backed by a ton of fans of the original Patapon games, and so lo and behold, we are actually getting that this week, with actual 4K native support on the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is going to look great with Patapon itself, just because of how the game looks. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, you might want to check out Patapon Remastered, which again, it's coming to the PlayStation 4 this week with support for the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's also worth checking out because it is a budget title with a pretty awesome price tag, if I do say so myself. Wrapping things up, we have a couple of honorable mentions. Dino Frontier is coming to the PlayStation VR, and Mr. Shifty, a game that came out on the Nintendo Switch, which looks similar to Hotline Miami, is coming to the Xbox One. So there you guys have it. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of The Drop. If you did, drop me a like down below and let me know what new games that are coming out this week that you are looking forward to. Has your PlayStation VR just been dying for Dino Frontier, or have you been looking forward to Mr. Shifty on the Xbox One? Perhaps you are a big fan of Patapon or any of the other games that I mentioned. Leave it in the comments section down below, and especially if I missed something, so that we all know exactly what is coming out this week. But as for right now, I hope you guys go check out some more content on my channel. I'm going to go enjoy the beautiful 65-degree weather outside because that is just perfect. I will talk to you soon. Peace.